guys, and surprise, surprise, this isn't a deep looking video. A buddy of mine has gotten me into Arcane Lineage, and something I noticed right off the bat from the content creation community is there's not really a lot of guides for newer players on how to play this game. And it is on the smaller end of games community-wise, but I don't think it's right to just keep all this information to keep new players from enjoying the game. So this is going to be my guide of what I learned while I played and got help from my friend about how you as a solo player or with your friends can start off and actually progress your character to get a base class and do what you need to do. Alright, so you just spawned in, but hold up. Before we just go walking around the town and getting to know some of the very helpful NPCs that'll help you on your progression, hit this funny key above tab called tilde for some fucking reason, and it's going to open up your inventory and show a little status thing on the right side of your screen. We're just going to go over this really briefly so you understand what's what. So if you look over at equipment, you have your weapon, which depending on which you buy or get, that'll be your main weapon of choice. You have offhand, you have your enchant, which is a late game thing, so we'll be ignoring that for this guide. Artifact also follows the same. Those are late game items. We will be talking about those in a different video. Your race, and then you have rings, your earrings, necklace, and your armor. You also below that have your stats, which you have strength, arcane, endurance, luck, and speed. We will talk about stats later. Then you have your base class, super class, ultra class, which is not in the game yet, and subclass. Below that also just has some numbers for you, which shows your physical damage, range damage, crit chance, etc., etc. The left side has your inventory, so when you get items, that's where those will appear. Alrighty, when first actually going to explore the little town that you're in now, there's a couple NPCs that are going to be essential for you, and we're going to go through them as quickly as possible. The most important one for normal players is going to be the doctor. Talk to the doctor, and he will fully heal you, so after you go out and do fights, if you come back a little injured, don't have any health pots, this guy will fix you right up. Now, keep in mind, in harder difficulties, he will charge you to fix you, but we'll talk about difficulties at the end of the video. The next big NPC that we have is Bounty Board Guy. There's a bounty board near town where you can pick up various quests. This is the guy you turn in items to for them or get reminders on, what you're supposed to be doing for whatever quest you have. The Merchant Hut, as signified by its funny little scales outside of the building, allows you to sell various items in exchange for gold so you can buy your weapons and progress your character. Be wary though, it feels a bit stingy at times. The blacksmith also lets you make various armor and clothing, provided you have learned the blueprints. As you progress your character, finding new armor and stuff, it'll be essential if you want to survive out in the wild. Golem carriages found outside or near safe spaces allow you to fast travel to various locations for a small fee, provided you've registered to them as well. The last early game NPC that we care about is the banker. You can purchase bank slots and store items in there. So if you find rare items that maybe you have a different slot you want to give them to or give them to a buddy later or something like that, you can purchase slots with him and then transfer and withdraw as you need. Picking up your first quest is easy. Simply go back to Bounty Board Guy, look at which poster that you want, and click on it to accept the quest. Some require you to kill things, some require you to give things. But you will know when your quest is complete. If it's killing, it'll automatically finish for you. When roaming about in the wild, sometimes you can get ambushed by monsters, but this guide will go over the basics of combat, turn order, and the resources you have at your disposal in order to kill these monsters. The first thing to know about combat, enemies always go first. You will never get the chance to go first, so just be prepared to defend yourself. Speaking of defending yourself, it's pretty easy. There's only a few moves in the early games that can't be blocked, but when a monster move comes up to attack you, you will have to hit spacebar in a certain area in order to either block, which will partially reduce the damage, or dodge, completely miss, and you'll be completely fine. The red zones are blocking, and the yellow zone is a perfect dodge. You just have to hit spacebar, and wherever you timed it at, that's where it'll land. If it lands in any of the gray zones, or you just completely miss somehow, it hits you for full damage and full effect. After all the monsters have attacked, it's your turn, and there's a couple things to know. At the start, you won't have much to work with, but as you progress and get new skills, you'll notice a resource that comes in very handy, which are pips. Pips are denoted by the little blue thing at the bottom left of your GUI. You get one per turn and can be increased through various means with certain armors, and other gear that you'll find later on in your progression. Certain moves take multiple pips to use, and the higher ones often costing more. Now each class has a unique mini-game for you to use these higher moves, and a couple will be put on screen to give you a general idea of what you're looking at. Killing monsters rewards various loot, essence, and gold, essence of which we will go over very shortly. Once you've made enough money to buy your first weapon, it's pretty simple. Just walk into the weapon shop and pick your weapon of choice. Later down the line, that'll determine what, class you pick and all that. So choose wisely. More guides will be available in the future for the different classes. As I make them, don't expect them right away. It's going to be a semi-slow process. Leveling up is pretty simple, but we're going to go over it anyways. Essence is what allows you to level up, and once you think you've gathered enough essence as it scales with level, head back into town and meditate on one of the funny little mats in the center of town. After a brief period of time, you will be teleported to a hall with a black eyeball and a white light. In our case, we'll be going towards the white light to spend some of that essence to level up. Once you've leveled up and paid the price, a screen will pop up showing 3 stat points that you can allocate, and the stats are as follows. You have the strength stat, which is good for any melee-based classes and just increases your physical damage overall. You have arcane, which increases your magical and range damage. Endurance, for if you just want more health. Luck increases your critical hit chance. And speed can vastly increase the dodge frame indicators that you have when you're being attacked. So if you want to be on the more defensive side, that's an option as well. After you've spent as much essence as you can, hit M again, and you'll be sent back to wherever you were meditating at, and we can continue on with the guide. You've gotten this far in the guide, and now it's time to pick your first class. Now, before you do that though, you have to look on either the Trello or the wiki, unfortunately, since I don't have any guides out yet. But certain classes will require you to have certain alignments, and I'm going to briefly teach you alignments. It's pretty simple. It's good, and there's evil. Do good things and drink certain potions, you get good rep. Get enough good rep, you can get the super class. Base classes don't have an alignment requirement. Opposite is true for the evil side. Do evil things and drink the evil versions of the potions, you get enough evil rep, you can go get the evil super class of your choice. But you can figure that out in another video. For now, let's talk about actually picking your base class. There's many trainers around the world, and most of them just charge a fee. And other than that, you get your base skills from, you get your passives. Once you've trained everything, you can go find your super, and in your stats thing, it'll show that that's your new base class, whether it be a wizard, a fighter, a thief, whatever it may be. And that's it, guys. If you like this kind of stuff, want to see more guides on Arcane Lineage or other small community games like these, suggest them. I'll go look at them. If I like them, I'll make guides on them. The next guide that I plan to do for this community, since it seems gatekeeping information is a new meta that is disgusting to me, I'm going to be doing a dummy's guide to potions, just the basic potions that'll be helpful for everyday use. I know I didn't cover them in this video, but I feel they deserve their own. So, once again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.